We're live now. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Girl Get Up podcast. I am your host, the Aquarian Chancellor, and this is the podcast where I share my stories. I bring my guests on, they share their stories, all in hopes that it inspires you, the listening audience, to go out and discover your infinite possibilities. Welcome to another episode of Straight from the Red Carpet, where we're going to be digging into some celebrity stories with the hopes that it inspires you. You can learn some lessons specifically about branding and career moves and stuff like that, which I like to talk about and feature on the Straight from the Red Carpet. And this is for my business owners, my aspiring entrepreneurs, but we're going to talk about some career stuff in here too that, anybody who's looking to climb the corporate ladder or start a business can learn and can implement for themselves. Okay, so this past Sunday, I released episode 93. It is I featured Lizzo. So when I started doing this on YouTube, it was kind of like to touch on some stuff that I had found in the media. But my first official straight from the red carpet feature was Lizzo. And so that episode was released Sunday. It's called Lizzo's Brand Story. When, let me be politically correct and say it the right way. And I put it in the chat too. Excuse me. I put it in the chat too so that it's right. Okay. It's Lizzo's brand story when your evolution triggers your audience. So I enjoyed it. I originally recorded, I want to say it was like 52 minutes. So I had to break it down into 25 minutes. But I enjoyed the episode. One of the things that I had got from her story, which is the reason why I wanted her to be my first feature, is the importance of rebranding yourself, even though, and staying true to what's authentic to you, even though your audience may not be feeling it. Like that was one of the major things that I had liked about her story. So listen to the episode. I don't want to give too many spoilers. I want you to go listen to the episode. We talked about her weight loss journey and how her audience and her main supporters felt betrayed because it was very different when she re-emerged in 2025 after some legal issues. She was singing a completely different tune about her weight, and it kind of rubbed some of her supporters the wrong way. But in that episode, I gave away some, give me 1 second. Okay. I gave away some red carpet rules. Two in particular that I want to address today, that a story that I have been seeing lingering around. I really don't want to touch on it, but because it's, to me, it's, juvenile, but it was the result of that situation that made me want to readdress or address the situation that I want to talk about this evening. But two of those red carpet rules that I had talked about in Sunday's episode was, or are rather, using your platform your content messaging to address haters or address those who might not like your message, or we'll just call them haters for the sake of the episode. And then the other topic or red carpet rule that I gave away in that segment was expanding strategically. So those are the two things that was in my mind addressing what we're about to talk about right now. So, but I just wanted to, of course, I wanted to plug Sunday's episode because I'm going to piggyback off of that now. So, in the news, like celebrity news, of course. I don't even know why I would do. Like I said, it's so juvenile, but okay. So in the news, I have been seeing Summer Walker and Rich the Kid. They going back and forth on, like I said, it's just petty stuff. However, I do think that it's a media strategy because she just released an album about 2-3 weeks ago. Is not that I'm not a fan of Summer Walker, I just don't listen to her music. She might have a radio, like what was that song, Heart of a Woman? Is that, was it Heart of a Woman? I think it's Heart of a Woman, but I really just don't listen to her music. I can't resonate with it, so I just don't listen to her music. However, I think she's pretty talented. I think she's talented. She's 29. Maybe that's because, so to me, I can't resonate with that. But I mean, she got some okay songs. I think it is Heart of a Woman. And she got some nice features that she's done with a couple of artists that if it came on the radio, I probably wouldn't turn it, but I probably wouldn't go searching to add any of her music to my playlist. So, like I said, I think it might have something to do with, the Gen Z versus millennial preference, maybe. But so I see this back and forth that she and Rich the Kid is having, which is nothing new. Let me share my screen. It's nothing new in real life and or in the celebrity world. They go through the same things that we go through. So here's the title of this. Let me plug the site to give them their credit. I think it's Hip Hop News. Let me make sure. Oh, hotnewhiphop.com. So this is from hotnewhiphop.com. And it's been all over the place of Summer Walker and Rich the Kid getting into it, going back and forth because of her dealing with him while he's already in a relationship with someone else. Which, again, this is not new. They have been, I'm not going to read the entire article because the gist of it, like I said, it's just them being in a relationship or dealing with each other while he's already taken. He says that now, ironically, this is coming out 2 weeks after her album has been released. Her album is called Finally Over It. I guess it's about healing after a relationship or after a breakup and ready for new love, I'm guessing, or heartbreak music, I guess you could call it that. So this apparent relationship between Summer Walker and Rich the Kid had apparently happened some while back. This is not new news. It has happened maybe about a year ago, according to Summer Walker. What's funny is, so in Sunday's episode, I talked about taking negative comments and using your whatever your preferred method of reaching out to your audience, whether it is social media, whether it's email through your emailing, content messaging, using that to counteract the negativity. So, in this story where Summer Walker is dealing with Frisch the Kid, apparently some audio had been leaked allegedly by Rich the Kid. I'm just going to, or his camp, some people in his camp allegedly. I'll say that out because, we don't know. Of Summer Walker engaging in side chick behavior, asking Rich the Kid because he's cheating on his fiance, asking Rich the Kid to save her contact under Pizza Hut, which she also addressed and goes as far as to make light of the situation and also changed her social media name, especially I want to especially point out Instagram, to Miss Pizza Hut, to make light of the situation. So that's an example of using the way that you communicate with your audience to kind of counteract any type of negative messages. So she's pretty much making a joke of it. And she's saying, you know what? This was over a year ago. I'm not worried about it, so it's over. She's saying that she was getting money out of him. He's saying, she's a pass around. The typical child stuff, this high school stuff. I don't even, like I said, I really didn't want to even get deep into this part because it's stupid. But like I said, part of me kind of feels like it's like a market employee, because now he has a video coming out, a music video coming out, according to Hollywood Unlocked. His music video shoot outside of Pizza Hut, because I believe that's what the name of the song is, Pizza Hut. And it's supposed to be making fun of Summer Walker. Like I said, very juvenile. However, they both, it's kind of giving me staged. They both have some type of album or something coming out. And like I said, he came out about 8 days ago, or this drama between Summer Walker and Rich the Kid came out about 8 days ago. But then she pops up. Let's go over here. And this is the part that I found very interesting. So this is what's making me think like it's some, media ploy. She pops up on her. So I saw it on TikTok and I sent it to myself. I said, oh, okay, that's the point where I said, okay, this is something that might be interesting to talk about. But she also put it up on her Instagram page that she is now doing a brand deal collaboration with Tinder, which is a very well-known dating app. So Tinder and Summer Walker. Now this article is from Tinder Newsroom. This was put out on the 25th of November. Tinder and Summer Walker's team up to celebrate, Tinder and Summer Walker team up to celebrate new beginnings with Finally Over It. So again, her album just released a couple of weeks ago, Finally Over It. That's the name of the album. So I was like, I'm gonna save my thoughts for when let me finish reading this. But that's why I said I feel like that whole thing was staged. Because first of all, you're not going to put out any type of recording or any private phone conversation without something being authorized first. Like that's, you know, legally. So that again, that's what's making me like, So he got a video and some music coming out. Her album was already released, and ta-da! Homegirl got a brand deal or a deal with Tinder. Okay, so it says the Grammy nominated artist Summer Walker makes her Tinder debut, inviting fans to embrace self exploration, connection, and the power of moving on. So we talked about Summer Walker and her heartbreak music. I think the album before this was Is Over It, Finally Over It, and Almost Over, something like that. I don't know, but how many times, girl, you gonna be over it? But okay, I get it. So, Tinder and Grammy nominated artist Summer Walker are teaming up to celebrate the release of her new album, Finally Over It, and the freedom that comes with starting fresh. The collaboration, inspired by Summer's journey of self discovery, brings her signature honesty and vulnerability to the Tinder community. As part of the partnership, Summer will make her official Tinder debut, creating a profile that invites fans to see her in a new light, unfiltered, authentic, and ready for what's next. According to internal Tinder data, mentions of healing. This is what I really thought was very, very significant. So I'm going to start over. According to internal Tinder data, mentions of healing in bios grew by about 615% year over year, reflecting a strong rise in self-growth themes among users. Summer's music has always been about finding yourself, letting go of what doesn't serve you, and showing up as your most authentic self, says Devin Simone, Tinder's resident relationship expert. That's the same energy we're seeing from Gen Z daters right now. They're redefining what it means to start fresh. And this partnership is a reminder that getting back out there isn't just about dating again, it's about loving yourself enough to try. According to internal Tinder data, mentions in bios and profiles of starting fresh, a new chapter rose steadily among younger users between the ages of 18 to 25 throughout 2025, increasing by approximately 400% and 500% year over year, respectively, reflecting a growing focus, on renewal and self-discovery. The campaign's mantra, Finally Over It, Finally joining Tinder, captures the moment perfectly. A playful, powerful declaration that moving on can be something to celebrate. So what I found interesting about this article was the fact that it's your profile, like what we go through on a day-to-day, I'm keep saying it, experiencing life, going through life, growing and expanding. But with the data, here we go back at last week's episode about the data. Now they're going through our profiles if you on Tinder. And the amount of people, based on the amount of people that are updating or putting up their profiles that's talking about healing, which healing has been like one of the major topics, I don't know for how long now. I mean, it's always been a thing, but for this on a mass scale, I want to say since 2020, I have been hearing it just about consistently from different platforms, and content, commentary, especially when it comes to, again, self discovery, relationship, and dating. It's always been a thing, but for me, maybe that's just my antennas. And when I've been picking up on it since, I want to say since 2020, that has just been the lingo, along with authenticity, being authentic. So again, it's us living our daily lives, creating. We are the ones that's creating this content. We're the ones that's driving the way these campaigns are going based on the data that we are inputting. Internal Tinder data. That's what you getting a file, you uploading that into your favorite AI tool, and you're asking your tool, okay, what are some common things about what's going about these profiles? What's some common things? And it's going to tell you, okay, you have starting fresh, new chapter, healing, so I don't subscribe to powerlessness when it comes to, I don't know, is for me, the way that I see things, I feel like it's us. It's the everyday person, the everyday human being, like I said, that's out there, that's living their lives, that's, connecting and amongst your own community. And I don't know. I just subscribe to the fact that we are the ones, us, not these celebrities or whatever that drives the culture. The everyday, you know, human being. We are the ones that drive the culture. I know we look at celebrity lives and they are a representation of pretty much of us. This is what we're living. They just create music or create a visual of the lives that we live out every day. So I just found that interesting that they are mining our profiles and then creating a campaign with a celebrity to pretty much represent us. So I just thought that was interesting. So now her album, Finally Over It, in the midst of her fake drama with Rich the Kid, because honestly, that's not new. Celebrities have been doing this since forever in a day, with our favorite couple being at the forefront of this. So I mean, I don't know. I just feel like she did exactly what she was supposed to do with that. You go get you a deal with Tinder, girl, and you Tinder it out, because it's, I don't know. So this is what it's giving me. This is what it's giving me. Not to this severity, because we know the situation between these two right here. And the truth be told, they are still in litigation. Ray J and Kim Kardashian. It's that same playbook that Ray J, Kim Kardashian, and Mama Chris put together some years back that pretty much catapulted, more so, I don't know, in the media, I would say more so Kim, But Ray J, he's very business savvy and does a lot of deals in the back when it comes to tech. So, you got to kind of give him his kudos. But however, the point that I want to make is that the situation between the Summer Walker and Rich the Kid kind of gave me the playbook between Ray J and Kim Kardashian and Mama Chris's alleged deal about the tape. It gave me very much marketing, but I mean, she got the Tinder deal out of it. So, if you're gonna play it up, then, do it, but to me, I don't know. She could have done the Tinder deal without all of this. So, I mean, that's just, and I'm gonna say allegedly. I just find the timing of all of this like real, you know, ironic. But let me go on and finish what I was going to say. So it's giving me this here: Ray J and Kim Kardashian. Now, allegedly, between these two, everybody was supposed to be on the same page. And when it came to the tape, but when the media started to get a hold of it, it took a different turn with the narrative. The narrative took a different turn. Now, these Kim, her mother, and Ray J are still in litigation for recent claims that Ray J has made. So, when I say sometimes you put out these market employees and it just don't have that same, you know, you can make the money and you can get the people buzzing and you can get people talking about it and all of this other stuff. But I think the long-term damage that comes with it, excuse me, when it comes to the reputation, um, and like I said, the reputation and the going back and forth, it's one of those things where you have to kind of ask yourself, is it really worth it? So, you know, because here we are in 2025 and we have these two. Okay. Now, I want to get this off, but this is from E! News. And Ray J was arrested after a dispute with estranged wife, Princess Love. So, according to this article and what we've been hearing in the news, Ray J was arrested on suspicion of making criminal threats on Thanksgiving after a live stream appeared to show an argument between him and estranged wife, Princess Love. So that goes back to what I was saying about the reputation after the situation with Kim and Ray J and how things played out. It kind of gave him and other things, but it kind of with in the media, his brand and the way he moves in the media, it kind of put make him, I don't know, he on a downward. Is that the word? Yes, I think that's it. Spiral, out of control, and it's not a good look. It's not a good look for either him or Princess, and especially not with the kids. Now, Princess is not a dumb woman. So she actually won. She's a professional. I want to say she's a professional poker player. So she's not, on the slow bus. Let me check. I believe she is a professional poker player. Give me 1 second. Yeah, because quite a couple years ago, she came in 40th place. Okay, according to Google, she did came in the 40th place in 2023 WPT World Championship for 132,500 and winning the Celebrity Poker Tour in 2024. So she's not, you know, slow by any means necessary. But when you dealing with, it just seemed like I said, over the years he has taken a downward spiral, and when it comes to his presence in the media, allegedly, substance abuse has been mentioned. I say allegedly because but I say all that to say is some it just you got to be very careful. You got to be very careful with how we portray ourselves. Summer Walker is funny because I don't know who it was. I don't remember who the comedian was when somebody asked this comedian, the interviewer asked the comedian what they thought about Summer Walker and her music. And he said, "Oh, you mean the side chick music?" So it's just stuff like that. Like I get and some of the things that she has said about the situation. Now, granted, it was a year ago, but let me go back. But that's the image that people have of her. So, I don't know, but like I said, she got the Tinder deal. She's getting back out there. Anything else about the article that I wanted to mention? But I thought it was funny that they're using our real life experiences, such as healing, starting fresh, wanting a new chapter in our lives, loving ourselves, to initiate a campaign for Summer Walker's debut on Tinder. So, in conclusion, I want to give Princess love. I thought about this. I said, you know what? I am going to have to give Princess love. Oh, let me stop sharing. Princess, I feel you, girl. I understand. See, when you're dealing with Ray J, you never know how to take Ray J because Ray J is a loose cannon. I saw the way he was talking to his girlfriend online. I said, "Oh my goodness, Ray J." So, Princess, it says in the article that I don't know if it was that article, but it was another article that I read that you are going to go for custody of the kids, and I'm just saying allegedly, but if you do, I think that's a great idea. But also, I have a Scorpio survival kit that I have for you that I really want to gift this to you now, because I know that I don't know you personally, and I feel your story, girl. I understand. I understand where you coming from. So I had put this kit together based on, I just put my own little kit together. I think it would be very helpful for you, because when I looked up Ray J, I thought his behavior, I thought that he was a Scorpio. He is a Capricorn. However, those we're gonna have to open up the qualifications to include Capricorn in this. But I put together a survival kit that I want to share with you. I call it the Scorpio Survival Kit. But now we're gonna have to include Capricorn in there. But I want to share a few things with you before I leave. And I had to think about it, because I see girl, I feel your pain, and you just have to do what you got to do. So here's number one. You got to get the light up traffic light metal wall decor. Now it has to work. You gotta, okay. Let me go. I just want to put that. You got to get the it's called the light up traffic light metal wall decor. Now you have to make sure that it's with. Now you could get this from Hobby Lobby. You can get this from Hobby Lobby, and it is $41.99. Now I wish I had my little thing that you can see, because I'm gonna have to give an exhibit. Now when you get this, you have to make sure that yellow light is working. Okay, you want to make sure, actually, you want to make sure all the lights are working, but especially that yellow light. Okay, so when you get in these situations, they start launching out. Okay, what's gonna happen is, what's gonna happen is, okay, it's gonna be all green, everything is gonna be a go. But when they start tripping, and your detector has to go, when you get the yellow, your detector has to tell you, okay, something finna go off. We got to get clean, smooth out of here real quick before we get to the red, right? That's what this is for. And you put this, or bring it with you. If you taking the kids over there, you got to make it short and sweet, or whatever however y'all situation is. I'm telling you, this yellow is going to be important. Because if you take anything for granted and it get to that red and something pop off, you stayed too long. So you got to make sure you got this, okay? Okay, this is part of the survival kit. All right. So the next item I'm going to recommend you get, I got the kit. You could make your own, whatever it is. Okay. This is the next item. Okay. This is the headgear, like Magneto. This is the Magneto headpiece. Now, what's important about this is it covers up the ears and your third eye, because you cannot allow for the manipulation to reach your ears or your head. So you got to keep it covered. You got to keep it covered. You got to protect that cerebral. You got to protect it. Otherwise, you're going to fall for the okie doke, and you're going to be back crying again in about 6 months. So I'm telling you, protect yourself. You got to make sure that your head is, you got to protect it. Otherwise, you will be back falling for the old game again, and you know how that goes. And finally, you got to get you some good knee pads and some good elbow pads. Okay, because when the BS come and you got to get out the way, because see, you done stayed too long, and you got the red light, and you done stayed too long, and he get the tripping out like that, and you got to duck and dodge out the way. See, sometimes we be wanting to land on our feet, and it don't be happening like that. Best intentions. But sometimes, you got to get out the way real quick, and you might have to take a tumble. You got to make sure you don't hurt yourself too bad. Okay. All right. So that was my Scorpio survival kit. You're going to have to use it to get your situation together. So, Princess, that's my advice for you to survive Ray J. And I don't know, girl. I don't know. I'll just give you a little bit of humor because I can't tell you what to do, but I just wanted to throw that out there, girl. I don't know. But so that is the show for tonight. I just, I don't know. Summer Walker, you got the attention is on you. Your album is doing very, very well. You got the Tinder deal out of it. I think that's great. Be careful with the marketing ploys that we get into. I understand being strategic about it. I think you did a great job as far as the getting the Tinder deal. But can we do something that doesn't make us women look like side chicks and disposable and all of that other stuff? I would have liked maybe to see something like you still could have did the Tinder deal. You still could have did that. But maybe something a little bit more refreshing other than the typical side chick stuff. So that was just my little spiel about it. And I just want to reiterate how important we are when it comes to our lives and how important we are to the industry. They model a lot of their marketing campaigns and stuff to get our attention. Yes, they are the celebrities. Yes, we look at them. We, buy their stuff, but they could not do any of those things without us. So I thought that was interesting. They reminding our going through our profiles and, we healing and we doing new chapters and all of this other stuff like that. So to take that and to create a campaign for Miss Summer, aka Miss Pizza Hut Walker. So, all right. Those are just my thoughts. So, with that, I would like to hear your thoughts. If you agree with the campaign, if you thought it was funny, if you thought it was smart business move, I don't know. That's just me. I just would like to see her with more of a not the side chick image. We over that. We see that a lot. Can we get off a wifey image or something like that? So those are just how I felt about it. So with that, I am going to end the live and have a great day or evening. Take care, everyone.